Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the M18 Hellcat. It's a Tier 6 American turreted tank destroyer. This one's located on the south spawn of Prokhorovka, and it's under the command of Beowulf 19K30. Now, that's actually the name of the tank, Beowulf, and 19K30, well, that's the qualification of the, I think it's Sergeant Major actually, that he was actually in charge of that Abrams A1, M1A1 I think it was, or M1A2. It was certainly an Abrams tank anyway. Now, let's see the action. Okay, with the M18 Hellcat, built in 1942 onwards, they built 2,507 of them, and they had torsion bar suspension, a Wright Continental R975 9-cylinder radial engine inside, and fairly thin armour, but they did have a 76mm gun capable of doing, I think it was about 115 alpha, but we've got a 90mm gun on this one, capable of 240 alpha. He stopped to take a shot, but I'm not so sure he's got a target at the moment. Now, he's got a platoon mate in this game, in the VK2801, and we'll just briefly see who that is. It's C. Crunner, and he's in a VK2801 just up a short distance away. Oh, what a shot! The VK2801-105 on the enemy. He managed to get 267, which is a high roll. And he's disappeared from sight. Penetration for this gun, 160mm. The same, the armour on this vehicle is very thin. It's only 12.7mm on the hull, all the way around, and the front of the turret has 76.2mm, sides 31.8 and 127 at the rear. No, 12.7 at the rear, rather, I should say. And you can see here, at this moment, he's actually aiming using the rescue and in third-person mode, because he's trying to get some blind shots on some of the enemy. Oh, our platoon mate just died. Yeah, he rammed the VK2801-105 on the enemy team, which means he's taken out their premium light tank, but he's gone down as well, which means now both teams have lost one player. So it's eye for an eye. But that's taken away our spotter for the moment, which means that Beowulf's probably going to have to do the spotting himself. And in fact, it looks like that's what he's going to do. He's going to go up right to the edge of the map, use the bushes and the tree line. In fact, actually, you can knock the trees over. You land a shell right next door to the tree. You can make it fall over in your direction, give you a bit of extra cover, but it does give away your position. Now, we have lost some other tanks since. In fact, the enemy seems to be doing better than we are, because we've lost a T1 Heavy and an AMX ELC since, and the enemy team's only lost a KV1 additional to that VK. Now, the Hellcat was the fastest tracked vehicle during World War II, and it got the name the Hellcat from Buick. Yes, because it was made by General Motors, and Buick was part of their company, and they gave it the name Hellcat. It wasn't the most liked of the tank destroyers. The M10 actually was much better for the crews, or much more liked by the crews, even though it was slower. But you can say that the Hellcat was actually designed from the ground up to be much better than the M10 in many ways, because the M10 was a derivative of the M4, whereas the Hellcat was a custom-made tank destroyer, and it was built to be fast. Okay, he has got a target there, but it's an SU-100M1. He's down in the jet, but now he's exposed himself. Oh, nice shot. High roll again, 269. Falls back just in case he was spotted. He wasn't, but he got that round to go in through the sides of an SU-100, which of course are weak. Now, there is Arty in this game, 2 Arty either side. Our team has got the Bishop, who has to be fairly close to the enemy, and the GW Panther. Our Bishop is way too far back, actually, to be getting good shots on the enemy, unless, of course, he's firing towards the center line or onto the hill. The other RT on our team, that GW Panther, well, he's decided to stick near to the cap area, and he's firing. Well, he's easy to fire on both sides of the map. On the enemy team, they've got an M41 HMC and an M12, both with a 155mm howitzer. And I think we just saw the tracer from one of those RTs fly through the air nearby. He's blind firing at the moment Again, he's using the minimap. You can see where he's actually aiming. You see the line that extends from the vehicle. And he's looking at those trees, and looks like something there was hit by one of those shells. Because there was no explosion from the ground. You didn't see anything come up. And we just saw an Arty round land near one of our teammates. I think it was the T-28 took the round. Now, Beowulf sent this replay in some time ago, and it's been sitting in my queue ready to be done. He said, yeah, it's a really good game. You really should watch it. In fact, this is the first time I've seen it. I haven't seen it before. Oh, another Arty tracer. So we know the Arty is on this side of the map. He's on the west side of the map, probably at the back, somewhere in grid square A1, A2. We can see that from the tracer. They're definitely focusing on the T28 HTC at the moment. And the HTC's found somebody for us to shoot at, the KV-1SA, and that's a low roll for 230, but he can do it again. Standard reload time is 8.15 seconds. He's got 6.75, so he shaved a couple of seconds off. And that KV-1SA is going to feel the punishment. And he's got his first kill. Won't be his last. I'm not giving anything away there. Okay, he's still looking over the other side of the map. Unfortunately, those enemies over there are out of range, but he can probably still hit that SU-100M1. He keeps doing that. The Hellcat doesn't have a very accurate 90mm gun. It's a fairly bit of dispersion. But the thing is that the Hellcats never really had a 90mm. It was only the 76mm was actually seen in combat. The 90mm was just one vehicle. Oh! That's a high roll for 253 right through the side. Very well shot. And he hit the armor. I think he had hit just underneath the gun. You can see it's on the mantlet. That might have damaged his gun, or it might just have bounced off. Yes, there was only one Hellcat was actually fitted with a 90mm gun, and it was only at the Aberdeen Proving Grounds. They just wanted to test and see if it would actually work, and I suspect one of the reasons why they didn't actually go ahead and fit the 90mm to all of the Hellcats was either because the power was too great, that it was actually giving too much recoil and might have actually damaged the vehicle, or possibly that it would have been too expensive to refit all of the all 2,507. Well, there wouldn't have been that many left by then, but it would have been too expensive for them to fit 90mm to all of those vehicles. And so in the end they decided that the 76mm was much better, and they would just stick with it. Of course, we do know that a number of Hellcats were given to Taiwan, and Taiwan liked them. They actually used them quite a lot. In fact, I believe they still have some in storage, and they liked them so much that when the actual hull of the Hellcat wore out, they actually fitted the turrets to the M42 Duster, which is an anti-aircraft gun, and that's how we got the Type 64. Yes, I know it looks a bit it's a bit slow at the moment, but trust me, it will get better. Now, the radial engine on this vehicle was capable of between 350 to 400 horsepower. Top speed was, as I said, it was the fastest of the vehicles, 55 miles per hour or 89 kilometers per hour on road. And off-road it would do 42 kilometers an hour, which is very fast actually. And it had a range of 100 miles or 160 kilometers. So yes, it was a thirsty beast, but then you've got to remember it's an aero engine, it's an aircraft engine in the rear of that vehicle. But they designed it in such a way that the aircraft engine, it could actually literally be disconnected from the gearbox, and they could slide the thing out, which meant that the Hellcats could be easily maintained. That made them much more effective because, of course, normally the M10s, if they wanted to be fixed, they had to go back to the motor pool, wherever that was, and for the engineers to then pull and get under the vehicle and pull out various things. And it was a complicated process to get at the engine. But if you ever look at the Hellcat, you'll see it's actually very, very easily laid out so that the crew could work on it themselves without having to take it to the motor pool. All they needed was the spares. And we've got another target, the VZ-44-1. Now, it's a tier 7 game with tier 5 tanks in it, so he's middle tier. And yeah, the VZ-44-1's now going to take a bit of punishment because, of course, Beowulf's just going to lay in on him. Low roll. Previous one was a high roll. And again, high rolls. 276. He has been spotted. He has to pull back. Okay, he's now taking 30mm fire. Took 3 rounds from a Leopard. He fired his 30mm cannon in this direction. And that's the M12. And that's a direct hit. But it didn't pen, funnily enough. I think it hits the tracks. And that's why he didn't get a pen on that. Okay, nice hit there on the... I think it was the... Was it the Leopard? I don't think he actually did... No, he did get a shot on the Leopard for 212. Low roll. Now he's got the 44. Can he get a kill? Okay, now you can. Yes. Second kill of the game. Okay, he needs to change position now because the Arty knows where he is. They might decide to fire a round in there just to see if he's still in residence. Even if they can't see him, it would be worth a shot. Now, there's only 4 left on the enemy team. They've got the M12, the M41 HMC, a T78, and the SU-2 122. We can't see any of the enemy tanks at the moment, but our team is now in the other half of the map, and they're moving towards the cap area. More than likely, the enemy Arty is directly ahead of us. And in fact, the SU-2 122, that new double-barrel tank destroyer, is directly ahead, and he's just been badly damaged by the M4A1 FL10 with his automatic cannon. We can get up here. We might be able to finish him off. Oh, no. We're blocked by a wreck, I think, there. Yes, the Nashorn decided to die in the hedgerow, and Beowulf drove straight into him. And the T78 just died to the M10 RBFM on our team. But that still leaves 3 enemy tanks left, including that double-barrel gun. And he just took a big hit on our M4A1 FL10. So I think he just double-shot him, and he's out the game. So now we've got to deal with that SU-2 122. And by the time we get up there, he's probably going to be reloaded. Okay, there's the M12 trying to get at our M10. I think he's trying to do a shotgun. Failed. Oh, the M10 died. And we've managed to kill the SU-2 122, but that leaves both Artys left. There's only 3 left on our team, the 2 Artys and, of course, Beowulf. So it's down to him now to get a Pascucci's and win the game for his team. We lost sight of them for a moment. We know the M12 was near the cap area. He's not a very fast Arty because, of course, he's based on the M3, so he's particularly slow. But he must be around here somewhere. We're trying to maneuver to avoid a shotgun. And we found the M41. Okay, so we need to get rid of this guy. Oh, that shot missed even though he auto-aimed on. It missed. Wait for the reload. And that's 1 kill. Now, where did that M12 go? It doesn't matter now if he dies in the process. Beowulf can get a win if he disposes of the M12. And there's the M12, and he got over the other side of the battlefield. Can we get him at distance? Should be able to. He's into the village. Yes, he gets 1 hit. He switched, and that's his last round. Oh my gum, he's run out of ammunition. So now he has to ram kill if he wants to get the victory. He hasn't got much in the way of hit points left as well. He took that big health hit from the enemy Arty, the M12. So he's now going to finish that guy off. He's only got 2 hit points left thanks to Beowulf. But this will win the game. The GW is only a short distance away. There's the Bishop. They all want to get the kill, and we're in the last minute. It's chase down the M12 and ram him to win the game. Come on, you can do it. He's going around the outside. The M12's gone down into the dip. This is going down to the last second. Go for it. Take him out. You can do it. He's picking the moment. He wants to dive bomb on the guy. That's it. Yes! What a way to win. I don't normally approve of gratuitous violence against Artys, but that was just hilarious. He won the game by diving on top of an M12 who was below him, and what a way to end. Yes, they were both killed, but he did get the victory. Let's have a look at the scores. He got an ace tanker out of that game, Beowulf. He also picked up a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he ended up with 6. Got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He ended up with 5, 1/3 of the enemy team, and 1 short of getting that top gun. He got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle, and he got an eye for an eye for dying by killing the enemy killing the enemy tank, and him killing Beowulf in return. And in fact, actually, that's what happened to his platoon mate, because of course he rammed the enemy light tank, and they both expired at the same time. He got a Pascucci's medal. He killed both enemy Arty, the M41, and he killed the M12 right at the end. And because the M12 was tier 7 and Beowulf was tier 6, he got a kamikaze as well by ramming an enemy vehicle 1 tier higher than him and killing them. So let's have a look at the team score. Yes, he got a very high score on damage. Wasn't the highest in the game, though. The M12 did that. He got a high caliber for 3,338 hit points of damage. So at least he got the Courageous Resistance award because he did so much damage in the game. Second highest damage went to Beowulf with 3,190 hit points. And the third highest damage in this one went to the Viz44-1 on our team, who managed 1,462 hit points. When it came to kills, it was Beowulf. He has 5 kills to him, 4 kills to the M12 on the enemy team, and 3 kills went to the Su-122, that new tank destroyer, which is more like a Arty than a tank destroyer. It looks a bit like a bishop in many ways, but it is a very deadly tank destroyer because, of course, it can do a double shot at the enemy and put 2 shells into you at the same time, 2 122mm rounds, and score a huge amount of damage in the process. When it came to base XP, yes, Beowulf got that one as well. So he got 2 out of 3 on that one and came second on the third. 1,207 base experience points went to Beowulf, 944 went to the Viz44-1, and 707 went to the AMX Milli 45 on our team. Let's have a look at detail. He fired 30 rounds, all 30 rounds. You only get 30 rounds when you use the 90mm. In fact, you get more rounds to play with when you use the 76mm, but you just don't do as much damage per shot, but you get more rounds to play with. He got 20 direct hits on the enemy and 14 penetrations and 1 splash. Damage of 3,190 hit points in total, of which 2,098 were at more than 300 meters. So you can see the vast majority of the damage he did was at long range. He also received 5 hits from the enemy. 3 of those were penetrating shots. 1 was a non-penetrating shot. That was the one, I think, that hit the tracks, actually, and didn't wipe him out. It was the M12 round actually hit the tracks, but it did splash him, and you can see there 1 hit by way of splash. That splash actually hurt him a great deal because it was over 300 hit points, and that really took down his health and made the inevitable end of the battle a fatal one, but it worked out. He also blocked damage of 30 hit points in total. He spotted 3 enemy vehicles, damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 5, and did 340 hit points of spotting assist. On a premium count, he earned 29,379 credits from the battle, 22,035 from personal mission payout, and after repair and ammunition resupply, and yes, he did use some premium ammo, he ended up with a loss of 20,722 credits, but I don't think he'll be worried about that. 1,207 XP for the battle, times 2 for the first victory, 2,717 from personal missions payout, and 272 because he was playing in a platoon with his teammate, and 6,611 experience points altogether. He calls this one crashing victory. Well, it was, wasn't it? I mean, he landed on top of the enemy Arty and wiped him out. And with seconds left in the game as well, he had to choose the right way to do it. If he hadn't been around, it would have been up to the Bishop and the GW to try and jump on the M12, and I'm not sure they would have been able to do it in time. But thanks to Beowulf, yes, they came away with a victory. What a way to do it. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.